I get angry. I get upset about that. So how, as me, go to work every day, a law-abiding citizen, do what I gotta do to protect me and mine, how y'all not outraged? And there's only so many times we're gonna come up here and talk and ask for y'all to help us.
This weekend, dozens of Nashvillians are working together to stand up against hate. Marchers joined the family of these young drummers, calling for change after racial slurs were shouted at these 9 to 15-year-olds as they were walking home from downtown.
They're really shocked that this happened. They're kind of in the state of disbelief. They're hesitant to go down in downtown and enjoy what they should be able to.
Family members of the downtown drummers are now issuing a call to action for local leaders. First, they're asking the city to revoke and deny any permits that might allow hate groups to demonstrate in downtown Nashville.
We don't want people to be able to stand on the corners and spew hate or racial slurs, all under the name of freedom of speech.
Tian Lewis and her family also want to see charges pressed against the adults accused of shouting racial slurs at her cousins.
If it's okay for people to just stand on the corner and assault people verbally, then I feel like there's an issue with that.
After a string of weekend protests carried out by various hate groups, the downtown drummers family is calling for all local leaders to denounce racially motivated demonstrations.
Nobody wants to leave outside of their house and be met with hate.
Neo-Nazis have taken over Nashville, Tennessee. They were seen walking downtown this weekend in broad daylight with their swastikas, their black outfits on, and why, nobody knows. But supposedly it's a peaceful protest, but I don't see what's peaceful against hate speech. It really doesn't make any sense. And this is actually a new group that actually was founded in 2021, and they're called the Blood Tribe. It was from a former Marine, Christopher Polis. So the fact that they were out there in broad daylight and they were so brazen about it, it really ought to tell you the times that we're actually living in. But they were met by other protesters, and they quickly left.
You know what? And I lived in Nashville for 10 years, and they've ranked it as one of the top places to live.
Look at
them, man. This is in broad daylight. But I've always said Nashville it's a beautiful city.
This is what it looks like when hate comes to Main Street. This propaganda video was produced by the neo-Nazi group known as the Blood Tribe, documenting its march back in February through the heart of downtown Nashville, a march that echoed familiar anti-immigration views.
Say, hey, why, man, every Mexican, say,
It followed a similar show of force back in November by members of the so-called Tennessee Active Club, the same group that interjected itself last fall into Gabrielle Hanson's unsuccessful race for mayor in Franklin, Tennessee.
FBI lies, children die.
That same month, another anti-Semitic group, the so-called National Justice Party, took to Nashville streets with its own anti-LGBTQ message.
Yeah, they different ones.
And this is also what happens when hate comes to Main Street.
The struggle for gay rights drags on. Stand against this sinful sickness today.
Larry Turnley was recently preparing for a roadside cleanup project in historically black North Nashville when he first spotted a KKK flyer.
And it had a black man, so an image of what would appear to be a black man with a white woman hugging her, and she had a black eye.
Pretty disgusting. It's very disgusting.
Yes.
And there were more.
I found one in front of this gray car and one right where those yellow things start.
The police reported that the group left the area after the confrontation, having arrived earlier in a U-Haul truck. So was they just in the back? This tactic mirrored a similar incident 2 years ago when the Patriot Front attempted to disrupt an LGBT event in a U-Haul truck. They are really trying to make U-Haul problematic. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, he did post, Nazism and anti-Semitism should never be tolerated in any form. Tennessee remains unwavering in our support for the nation of Israel. They were chanting about Mexicans. They held this immediately after a Black Lives Matter event, and you chose to talk about anti-Semitism.
Literally having a Nazi march here in downtown Nashville.